Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at Chaos Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news contents that we've enjoyed across Chaos Radio this past week. On today's show, we join Hannah and Becky Cheetham, the creators of Cheethams with Dreams, to learn more about their movement promoting disability awareness, LGBTQ+ rights, mental health advocacy, and their inspirational bucket list journey. We check in with Mandy Jane from St Mawes Players, who tells us all about their unique triple bill pantomime production, bringing a packed evening of laughs to the community. As well as that, we take a trip into National Apprenticeship Week with Ruth Forrest from HM Revenue and Customs, who discusses the Skills for Life theme and why young people should check their child trust fund. We hear from John Evers from the Duchy Health Charity, Richard Powers from England Boxing, Rivers from Newquay Boxing Academy, and Sonia Bradley from the Chaos Group, who explain how the In Your Corner non-contact boxing and mentoring programme is transforming young lives and reducing antisocial behaviour. And we welcome Harpreet Kaur, Community Events Manager at Shelterbox, who shares details of this year's 10 for Lent fundraiser, supporting families affected by disaster and conflict worldwide.
NEWSWAVE.
But first this week, to Ross Lannon's show here on Chaos Radio, and two guests who are sisters, taking social media by storm over recent years by turning their dreams into a movement. Now, Hannah and Becky Cheetham, best known online as Cheethams with Dreams, are the Manchester duo inspiring millions of people by using their platform to champion not only disability awareness, but also LGBTQ+ rights, mental health, and all that good stuff, all whilst ticking off an incredible bucket list of life goals as well. Over to you, Ross.
NEWSWAVE.
Hannah and Becky join us on the show now. Good morning to you both.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Thank you. That was such a kind intro.
Honestly, it's my absolute pleasure. And in the intro there, I mentioned, about bucket lists. And I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. You guys have been on my guest wish list for quite a while now, because you may or may not have noticed, I'm also a wheelchair user myself. So I've been part of the community following you guys for a while, so it's lovely to have you on the show, so thanks for being here.
No, thank you so much for having us, honestly. We wish we were in Cornwall with you.
Next time we'll make it happen, all right? Yeah. Now, guys, I've got so many questions. I'm excited to get chatting and share everything you do with our listeners today. So let's start with the introduction. Becky, if you want to kick things off, do you want to just give us a little intro about who you guys are and what you get up to online?
Yeah, so we're Becky and Hannah. Hannah is the older sister by 2.5 years, and she doesn't let me forget it. And we are content creators and lifestyle content creators, so we don't really have a niche. We kind of just show all aspects of our life, including everything from travel, beauty, comedy, and then all the stuff that you mentioned about kind of educating people. But we try to do it in a comedic, non-forceful education way.
It's the best way to do, isn't it? Get people learning and experiencing things, so having a bit of fun online. And you guys get to call it your job as well, which is pretty cool.
I know, right? I mean, I did used to be a children's nurse, so I have done my time working hard.
That's fair. You've earned your stripes, as they say.
Yeah.
Now, Hannah, I want to ask you, because one of the videos I love most from when watching you guys for quite a while now is you got to create your own northern voice as well, using an alternative communication device. How have you found life since finding your voice and bossing Becky around?
I absolutely love my northern accent, especially to boss Becky around. I have been lucky to have an AOC device since I was young, but it was always an American accent. Now I feel like my true self.
I love that. That's so cool. And the fact that you guys were able to, document that journey as well was brilliant. There's a fantastic video Becky, where I think you wrapped up a gift and it was like gifting her.
I knew that for a new iPad because she likes Candy Crush, let's be honest. So she's worn her old one down. But with it, we managed to get her Your Voice on the iPad, didn't we? And a northern accent, which means that she can use it out and about. It was really hard because all the voices, whilst they were great, they were either posh Southern, there was like a Queen's accent on there, American, just none of them was us. So, and what we would expect Hannah's accent to be like. So this one definitely fits.
Yeah, I imagine, as you know, not just as work colleagues now, but as sisters, you must have had a lot of fun creating.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Now, I've got to ask you, Becky, let's go back to the bucket list, okay? Because that's kind of where this all started, isn't it? Tell us a little bit about where this idea came from and why you decided to kind of start sharing it so publicly.
So what happened was, we do crazy stuff all the time, but we went indoor skydiving, and I think I posted it to my personal Facebook, and the amount of comments that were from friends and family saying, oh my goodness, if Hannah can do this, I can do like what I'm scared to do, and like really positive, encouraging messages. And I thought, whoa, I think we've got like a connection here, or a duty to show people what they can do despite obstacles and things like that. So we sat down, and on an old piece of cardboard we wrote every single crazy dream that we wanted to achieve. And we've still not finished it. This was 10 years ago. We've still not ticked everything off on it. So, so we just wrote it on a piece of cardboard and then posted it to a Facebook group or a Facebook page called Cheethams the Dreams, because our surname is Cheetham and we have all these dreams. And that was it, really. And then, it just kind of grew from there. And we joined TikTok in lockdown. And that's when things started to take off and, got a bit bigger for us. But it all started from just a list of dreams on an old piece of cardboard.
I love this. Starting from a small piece of cardboard, but the things that you've gone on to do since that I'm sure probably weren't even on the list.
No, they weren't. And the things that were on the list, we haven't even finished, have we? No.
I mean, as a content creator, this is great because you've obviously still got plenty to film and get out and do. So that's good. Now, Hannah, I want to ask you, obviously sharing what you guys do online, how does it feel knowing millions of followers are now invested in your life? And, you share quite personal insights as well.
I love it. I mean, it's crazy when you really think about it. But I love people coming up to us in the streets and telling us how we have inspired them. Sometimes it can be daunting sharing our lives, but if it has helped at least one person, then it is totally worth it.
She's a diva. She absolutely loves it. Like, people come up to her in the street and go, oh my gosh, Hannah. And she is living for it.
She's going to be charging people for selfies soon, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. I think, you always ask people if they want a picture, and it's dead awkward because if they don't want one, I'm like, why did you want But you love it, don't you?
Oh, no, honestly, what you guys do is fantastic. And like you said, it goes back to that awareness and just kind of showing people what, we're out there, we're living our best lives, and it's important for people to see. So
absolutely. I mean, it's hard because we get comments of people accusing me of making Hannah do it, and I say, do you want to quit? Do you want to give up? And that's the answer I get. A very clear no. Along with some choice swear words, which we're not allowed to do on the radio. If we had that chat, didn't we? So I think it's a misconception that people think that Hannah hasn't got a brain and to think for herself. She won't do anything that I want her to do. So.
Oh, we've absolutely seen Hannah's sassy side on the videos. Don't you worry about that. Tell me about that kind of family side then. Working together, obviously. They always say, don't they? Obviously, never work with children, never work with animals. Maybe don't work with family either. It must have its pros and cons. How do you guys kind of work that out so that you can still get the content you want, but still protect your relationship? That's
a good question, and I think we're still balancing that out. I live a couple of doors down from Hannah as well, so it's definitely finding that balance for us, and knowing when things should be filmed, things shouldn't be filmed. If we want a day off, we can have a day off. When are we kind of working and when are we kind of sisters? Hannah struggles with, she needs routine. So, for example, this is probably a con of our job, is that things come up last minute. And, for Hannah, I see you and have you on a Tuesday, Wednesday. But, for example, our event might be on a Monday, and she can't really get her head around the fact that would be instead of a Tuesday, Wednesday. But protecting our sistership, I think, is just taking the time away from each other as well. And that's for both of us, isn't it? Yeah, she tells me to get my bag and go at 5 o'clock, like we've had enough of each other. But we spent all this time together anyway, so it wasn't, we've been doing this for 10 years. It wasn't as if we've suddenly been thrown into an office together. We was kind of doing all this stuff anyway, just probably not filming it and not putting it online.
Exactly. And if it's not like the dream scenario of, being able to work with your loved one, also make a career and a living off it as well. It's win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, let's talk about some of the exciting things you guys have done over the years then, because like I've said, been following a while, love seeing all the different things you get up to, meeting famous faces, attending certain events and trips and things like that. Let's start with you, Hannah. What is kind of one of your most standout moments that you've had over recent years?
I mean, how can we choose just one? I think getting to zipline with Giovanna Fletcher, Candice Brown, Kelsey Parker and Amy Dowden was a highlight. Like we were just hanging out with all these incredible women who carried me to be able to zipline with them.
Yeah, that was a special moment, definitely. Seeing these people become friends, essentially, when there was a zip line and I thought, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. And they said, absolutely no way. And all came together. So that was amazing.
There's some incredible names lined up there. Just hanging out with the names now, check you out.
I know, I'm doing sports with them as well. But yeah, and they're all incredible women, by the way. But it's really hard. I mean, recently we got to meet Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande for Wicked, which I still think it was a dream, but we are so grateful for every opportunity that comes our way, and still can't believe that it's us that gets to go and be in these rooms. I think it's a bit of imposter syndrome, but we'll take them as long as we'll have those people will give them us,
Yeah, you're not going to say no to Ariana Grande and Cynthia. Absolutely not. That's awesome. I love that. Impossible question. I'm sorry for putting that on you. Trying to choose like a favourite moment is ridiculous, but anyway, and obviously we're still fresh into this year. You guys have got a lot of things planned for this year as well. Some big challenges coming up as well. Becky, do you want to tell us a little bit about, I know you're signed up for the Copperfield Trek, and also just a casual Manchester 10K, as you do. Tell us a little bit about that. How's it all going, the prep and everything?
Yeah, good. I mean, I don't know why I signed up to both, but the Copperfield Treks, so I'm trekking Montenegro, and that is a charity very dear to my heart. Again, that's Giovanna Fletcher leads these treks for an amazing charity called Copperfield, a breast cancer awareness charity, and we are running the Manchester 10K for another incredible charity called Destination Florida, which takes children to Florida with life-limited conditions on a holiday of a lifetime. So, and you've been as a child, and I used to go as a nurse and whatever. So they're both close to our hearts. The training, however, I've been trying to run with a lot of tears. We've done the 10K before, and I don't know whether it's because I'm slightly older now, but I'm finding it really hard. So I'm out there, I'm doing it. Hannah is also, getting older, and she's harder to push. So she's shaking her head saying no, she's not. But we will absolutely smash it. So if anyone does want to donate to either of them causes, that would be amazing.
Amazing. And how do people, go on, give us a shameless plug. How do people donate? Go for it.
Well, if they find us on Cheethams for Dreams on social media, we are often putting out links to it and on our link tree and stuff. So in our bios, that would be great. That would be so helpful to get us to our targets, and then we can just enjoy the run rather than stressing about it.
Absolutely. I mean, the words enjoying and run, they don't really go together, but
not really. Some people they do, but I've not found that yet.
No. Well, Hannah, you're going to have to make sure you've got all the snacks prepared to keep Becky going when she's pushing you.
She's the worst. Like last time we did it, if I slowed down, she was like, "What are you doing? Speed up, keep going." She wouldn't let me have a breather. So yeah, she's I guess a good thing to have when running.
Crack the whip, hey?
Yeah.
Now, talking about some of the cool things that you guys have been up to recently, as well as those upcoming challenges, Hannah, you were recently involved in Asda's new adaptive clothing range too, as well, weren't you? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, thank you. What an experience. Our incredible friend, Nikki Newman, who has now sadly passed away, she had a last wish to create an affordable adaptive clothing range. It is perfect and we hope it gets bigger and better. You can find it on the George Asda website. I got to be a model. How cool.
I mean, if that is, was that on the original bucket list modelling? I don't imagine it was.
No, absolutely not. Now we want our own clothing range, don't we? That would be the next goal. But yeah, in terms of this one, it was an amazing thing that Nikki had done, and her incredible husband had seen it through, past her death, and it's an amazing clothing range, and we just hope that Asda take it and make it bigger and better, and keep it out there for all those people that need it.
Absolutely. Not only that is it like super important message behind it, but pretty cool when you go to your local supermarket and you just see yourself on a billboard or something.
Yeah. I get well, you don't read it, but I get sent a message every single day saying, I've just seen Hannah on the Asda website. I'm like, yeah, there she is.
That's so cool. Love it. We need to talk about some of the awards as well, because your mantelpiece is looking pretty good right now as well. Few accolades to your names already. I know you got the Voice for Change award at the TikTok Awards last year, which is pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about that.
We got the runner-up. Was it called the run? It was called Highly Commended. So an amazing family won, and rightly so. And what an honour to be in that category with so many amazing people. And again, it just reminds us why we did it, why we started Voice for Change. I guess we do have a voice that needs to be heard, and it's pushed us even harder to do that. But yeah, Hannah stole the trophy. It's on her side, not mine.
Stolen the trophy.
Stolen the trophy, yeah. She said, absolutely not. Didn't you?
Well, hopefully there'll be a few more to add to that collection maybe this year.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Maybe we could win one.
Yes. It's good. We're manifesting it. It's going to happen.
Manifest. We're going to be winners.
Now, final question for you guys. I've absolutely loved having you on the show. We can't have you on without final plug as well. So anyone listening today, where can they follow you and where can they keep up to date with all your adventures?
Thank you so much for talking to us. We have loved these questions. You can find us on all social media under the handle Cheethams with Dreams.
Yeah, that was it.
Perfect. Honestly,
well, thank
guys.
you for the questions. They were really we've enjoyed that. That was it was really nice.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And honestly, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. I'm excited to share the word of what you're up to all our Cornish listeners as well. And yeah, on behalf of me, obviously involved within the disability community, I absolutely love your videos. So yeah, keep smashing it and look forward to seeing what you do.
When we come to Cornwall, we'll do something crazy.
Yeah, let's do it. Absolutely. Guys, best of luck with all your challenges and the fundraising this year. Thanks so much for coming on to Chaos.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
NEWSWAVE.
It's Panto season, oh yes it is. Well, St Mawes Players are doing this a little differently this year. They're bringing you not one, not two, but 3 plays. A packed evening with lots of laughs. Henry Roserall had the pleasure of chatting to committee member Mandy Jane about the production.
NEWSWAVE.
So traditionally, St Mawes Players have been a panto group where once a year they've put on a panto. They've been spectacular. Music, kids, costumes, just unbelievable performances. We've tried to go over the last couple of years into something a little bit different. Last year we did a murder mystery, and this year we've chosen to do 3 one-act plays.
Wow.
The idea being you've got 3 short plays for the price of 1.
Oh, I like it. So that's a good way of getting your money's worth as well.
Exactly.
I like that. So we'll get more into those plays in just a moment. But as a former serving member of St Mawes Players myself, how's the team all doing? Any shout-outs in particular for any of the St Mawes Players gang?
Well, of course, there's a committee with which I'm on now. I'm the one that does all the promotions, all the posters, online booking system, which is new for this year. We've got our wonderful chairperson, Rosie Fordham. We've also got Nick Leach, Stephen Chapman, Deanna Gray, Val Dunning. Well, we all just get together and we look at the plays. Deanna Gray's directing this year again. She did such a good job last year that she's doing it again this year. She's really kind of got her head into what she wants these lovely 3 short plays to look like.
She's got a real clear idea and vision for where it's going.
Oh, definitely.
Good.
You can tell by the way that she's like, well, actually, if you could just do it this way, because that's the kind of where I had it in my mind's eye. She's doing a great job.
What do you like receiving direction? Because that's something I used to struggle with, which may surprise people, was that I thought that I knew how I was going to do it and that it was the best way. But there is a balance there of being open to directions from a director, isn't it? And seeing their vision come together.
Yeah, it's about listening to the way that they want it to be and adapting it and putting your style on it. There's certain things like if you could just put your hand there whilst you're doing that. But that also helps you remember your lines. Because if you remember what line you're saying when you put your hand on the back of that chair or on that table, you know where you are in the play, and it will give you the chance to remember your lines by where you're stood on stage. So,
which in turn helps the person that's after you as well.
Yes,
if you know the end of your line, that's the best bit because that's the bit they're listening out for.
Exactly. In rehearsal the other day, it all went silent and I was like, well, it's not my line yet because he hasn't said the word compass.
And you do just end up waiting for that word.
Yeah, it was that one word I was waiting for, and I knew when he got to the end of the sentence it was then my line. And because he didn't say the word compass and he just missed that line out,
that last bit,
I was like, oh no.
And has anybody got particularly confident and started throwing out some ad-libs yet as well?
No, because we're kind of sticking to the script on these. It's not like the pantos where you could just throw the odd in
quip or something,
and expect the audience to react. They're more like, there are some really fine jokes in some of them that the audience are going to find really funny, and because we haven't had an audience yet, we haven't had that laugh back.
That receive,
So how that's going to look on Wednesday night when we've actually got an audience, I don't know.
And it's until the night. It's the old it'll be all right on the night.
Yeah, exactly.
So we've teased on it there. This is from the 18th until the 21st. It's an evening of not 1, not 2, but 3 plays for the price of 1. How did the idea for doing 3, and who do you owe the pleasure for that?
So we consulted with my friend Joe, who I've done a few plays with. We've been in a couple of performances together, and he is a big advocate of one-act plays. So when we were looking at what we were going to do this year, he gave us some scripts to have a look through. We thought about actually, rather than doing a full play and looking at how that looked and just something different to look at one-act plays. There's a whole thing about one-act plays and you just get like a slice of a play. Some of them are just an act from a bigger play and some of them are just written as a one-actor.
An excerpt, yeah. And is it a different set between each play or is it the same set? How are you going about that?
The actual set on stage is going to be the same.
Yeah.
With a few changes.
I see. So it's somebody's job to very quickly make those changes.
Yes, we've got a wonderful backstage crew. The wonderful Deanna Gray is going to be backstage with us. And of course, we're all there to help out too.
Do what needs to be.
Yeah.
And always a massive shout out to the backstage crew with any sort of production and the work that goes on behind the scenes, the set dressing, the design of it, and all of those ideas.
We couldn't do it without them.
Talk to me about costume, because I love me some costume. Who have you had helping out with the seamstress this year?
Oh, we're not actually putting costumes on like that. Because of how the plays are set.
Okay.
It's more about wearing our own clothes. So we've chosen, each actor has chosen their own clothes.
That's really interesting.
Run it past the director. So that, we're actually going to be wearing our own clothes on stage.
So you've had a real, it's your imprint on that character. You've decided what that character's going to be wearing.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And by getting yourself into your character, by learning about your character's relationship with other people, you learn about what that person's going to be like. My character in one of the plays is a librarian. I know that's a bit miscast for me to be quiet and shy.
I wasn't going to say anything.
However, I literally have tried to recreate in what I'm wearing a quiet, shy person.
That feeling of, that's really interesting. And I think, every day, everything we all wear is costume really, isn't it?
Yeah, you get up in the morning, what am I going to wear today?
You put your costume on, how are you going to play that part for the day today? Now, tell me about it. Tell me about these plays, please. We've been sort of teasing all this time. 3 plays, what are we dealing with?
So, when the audience are sat down, the first one they'll get is Gentlemen Callers. It's about 3 ladies who are playing cribbage.
Lovely.
And There's a knock at the door. Is it a gentleman caller? And is he there for something suspect? Who knows?
Scandalo.
Oh, yes.
Yes, proper. Love it.
The second play is called The Wine Tasting.
Okay.
Set in a remote place where it's snowing.
Very nice.
And a group of friends have got together for a wine tasting. And it's all about what happens during the course of that evening.
I can imagine plenty happens
Yeah,
throughout the course of that evening.
Without giving it all away,
Yeah.
so that people have got to come and see. Come and have a look at the wine. And then there's wine on sale, of course, in our interval.
Thank you very much. Lovely.
Yep,
So
definitely.
you feel like you're a part of the play?
You can be part
There
of the
you
play.
go.
The last one is called the Covens Convention. And as we all know, because most of us live in small villages with the same committee running every single
Yep,
thing in the
absolutely.
village, that's what it's about.
It's very Vicar of Dibley vibes.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
definitely.
the parish council meetings, Jim
Yes.
Trot in the corner of sorts.
Oh, yes.
I can imagine it, and we're all far too familiar with those committee meetings as well.
Exactly. But be ready for a laugh because they are very funny. There are bits in the last one that are very close to the edge. So we're not advising that children come along. However, the first two are really good.
I love it.
So you could take your children at half time and go
There you
away.
go. Yeah. Early night for you now, kids. You don't get to
Yeah.
see the last one. Talk to me about rehearsals, because it's a big part of it that sees you through the winter months, really, doesn't it, with rehearsing for things like this?
Yeah, definitely. We've met on a Monday and a Thursday evening now since October. It's so difficult to rehearse for 3 plays all at once. So you're looking at how do you do that? So some nights we've gone for 1 play and done it a couple of times. And then some nights we've put 2 on.
Yeah.
So you're just rehearsing 1 and then swapping it over the next week to try and get as much out of what we've got as possible. We're into the last few rehearsals.
Bless you.
We have started having a really good laugh, and it's just such good fun. They're
It is.
such a good cast, and you know, I've become really good friends with the guys that I act with on stage. And yeah, I just love being part of St Mawes Players.
It's a little family, isn't it? And again, when you've got something like that throughout the winter months in particular, when down here in Cornwall, and it can be quite lonely and isolating, dark, wet evenings, getting yourself up off that sofa and, like you say, having a laugh is really the bottom line of what you'll find you'll be doing, is having a laugh for a lot of it as well. And it can get you through those months.
Yeah, definitely. You know, you could just turn the telly on and hide under a blanket, but you know, you sat at home with the telly on hiding under a blanket, or you're going to go out and see your friends and literally just interact with other people.
It's all the difference. Look, talk to me, Mrs. Promotion. Tell me how people can buy their tickets, where they can get more information, what do they need to do?
So, tickets are available from St Mawes Post Office. They are £10. They only take cash there. So if you wanted to play with a card, if you go online to bookwen.com/Playmake Theatre, and you can order them online.
Fabulous. Love it. Can't wait to hear it. There you go, folks. Get your tickets now. What are we calling the whole production? What do you call it? An evening of?
An evening of 3 one-act plays.
There you go. Catchy. I'll read the book. There's no business like show business like no business I know.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, you're listening to NEWSWAVE here on Chaos Radio with me, Tom Howe. Time now to hear from our friend Ruth Forrest, a member of the broadcast team for HMRC, who earlier this week chatted with breakfast show presenter here on Chaos Radio, Cheryl Gordon.
NEWSWAVE.
It's National Apprenticeship Week this week, and this year's theme is Skills for Life, highlighting how apprenticeships help young people build practical skills and how employers benefit from the talent and energy apprentices bring. Revenue and Customs are urging young people to claim their child trust fund during the week. I heard from Ruth Forrest and apprentice Hope about the National Apprenticeship Week and child trust funds. Hope begins by explaining her own role as an apprentice.
So I'm an apprentice at HMRC. I started in November and it's been a great experience so far. 20% of my kind of day-to-day activity is dedicated to the learning side of it, which includes kind of like writing assignments, projects, kind of the actual seminar style learning. And then the 80% is dedicated to working in internal comms in HMRC. So that's stuff like publishing internal articles and then kind of communicating strategic objectives with kind of the internal staff.
Ruth, to start off with, what is a child trust fund and who has one?
So, bit of context to start with, Cheryl, because a lot of people listening have probably heard of junior ISAs, which is, a savings product for young people under 18. Child trust funds were what came before that. Now, there's a particular window of people who will have a child trust fund depending on their age and where they were born. So, if you were born between September 2002 and January 2011, it's very likely that you've got one of these child trust funds. The way they worked was that the government set them up and the government put in a standard £250 in each of these child trust funds. And they were then administered a bit like the junior ISAs by a bank or a building society, whoever people chose. But then family members, friends, etc. had the option to put money into them for the young person. And they maybe did that monthly or they did that via an inheritance or whatever. So, if you think about that from age 0 to 18, including interest, etc., there's potentially quite a sum of money there. They say that the average sum within a child trust fund is around £2,240. Some of them can be as much as £5,000. And if you're a young person starting college, university, starting your first job, that's a significant sum of money that could really help you with all those unexpected expenses that you might have. New clothes, new laptop, maybe a down payment on driving lessons, a deposit on a flat, all those kinds of things. So definitely worth checking if you are one of those people born between September 02 and January 11, because there might well be a payment waiting for you.
Now, exciting as that definitely sounds, how do you find out where your child trust fund is?
Very easily. That's the good news, because we know that people, especially young people, they don't have time. They're going to get overwhelmed by lots of paperwork and lots of phone calls and all that kind of stuff. None of that. Very quick and easy to check. We have created a check-in tool for you on the gov.uk website. All you have to do is visit gov.uk and search Find My Child Trust Fund and type in your national insurance number. From that, we will be able to tell if you have a child trust fund, where it is. If you're between the age of 16 and 18, you can still take control of that fund, but you can get the money out when you turn 18. Now, if you don't know your national insurance number, because that's probably people's next question, don't panic. If you don't have that to hand, download our HMRC app. I know we've spoken about that a lot on here, but we do love it because it's free. We love free stuff. It's secure, it's quick and easy and safe to use, and you can get it from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store, depending on what device you've got. And everything you need, national insurance number, all your employment details are all on there for you as well to be able to check.
Why is HMRC talking about child trust funds during National Apprenticeship Week?
Starting work can be daunting if you're a young person. There's lots of things to think about. And there are those unforeseen expenses, of course, that we were speaking about earlier that people maybe don't think about when they start work. So you maybe need new clothing, you might need specialist shoes or equipment, depending on the job or the apprenticeship that you're doing. You might need to drive, so you want to get going with driving lessons. You might need a laptop. You may need to move, so you need to put down a down payment on a flat, etc. So having a sum of money that you didn't know was there could really help you with some of those unexpected expenses. And certainly one of our apprentices, Hope, has been talking about that as part of our campaign around Apprenticeship Week. And she's been talking about just how helpful that money was to her.
My parents were always very transparent about my child trust fund. I was first aware of it very early. I must have been year 7. And then after that, I kind of did my own research into it. So my parents kind of told me what they contributed, how I could access it when I was 18. So I used the money. I used half of it kind of towards university. So this was accommodation deposits, kind of kitchenware, all those costs that add up when you first go to uni. And then I also bought a MacBook, but then half of it I instantly put in savings accounts, so like my future and kind of house deposits. At university, I told all the friends that I could. A few of them were struggling financially, and I mentioned it to them, and they actually didn't know what it was. So they kind of researched it themselves, and it helped at least 2 of them, which was great.
So for any young person listening, how can they claim their trust fund?
Very easy. Visit gov.uk, search Find My Child Trust Fund, pop in your national insurance number and all the details you need about the fund, how to get it, which institution, which bank, etc. are holding it, and what you need to do to get your hands on that money. And remember that magic window that we spoke about that will apply to you. We're looking at people born between September 2002 and January 2011. And even if that's not you, you've maybe got friends, young people, family members in your life that may well apply to. So do pass that on, because they'll thank you for it. And they might buy you a pint of something nice if they've got an unexpected windfall that they didn't know about. So do share the word with people you care about so they can check too.
Can you explain what the HMRC app is and how it can help young people?
Absolutely. So the HMRC app is a free and secure app that you can download to your device. It's available for Apple and it's available for Android. And it contains all things tax in a free, easy, simple, secure way that benefits everyone, but especially benefits young people. We get fantastic reviews on it from under 25s. And a bit like we were saying before, that starting work is really daunting. There's a lot of stuff that employers might ask you for. They will definitely need your national insurance number. You will want to check your pay slips to check that you're being taxed at the right amount if you're eligible for that. Your employers might need your employment history letter and all these things. Finding that paperwork can be daunting, but if you have the HMRC app, everything is available for you in one place. That national insurance number, all your pay and tax details, your address history, everything you need is there for you. It's quick and easy to access, it's safe and secure. And if you need any guidance and support from us, you can get all of that through the app as well. So do download that if you haven't already. It takes a couple of minutes to set up, maybe 5-10 minutes to set up. But once it's done, everything you need tax-wise is there for you at the touch of your fingertips.
Yeah, regardless of what age you are,
Exactly.
It's there for all of us, isn't it, really, to be able to use. So you don't have to be in that age category. Anybody can use that app. And I think that's the way we're going with an awful lot of things. A lot of us now are finding apps a much more accessible and much more useful tool 24 hours a day, aren't they, Ruth?
That's exactly it. It's there, it's quick and easy, and it's there at a time when you want it and you need it. Exactly as you said, 24/7 it's there. You can contact us and guidance is there. And of course, we still have the call centres and those more traditional ways of getting in touch with us. They will always be there for people that need us. But increasingly, our digital services are getting much, much easier to use. So things like web chat, looking up guidance, sending us messages through the app is getting easier and easier to do. So we'd encourage everyone to give it a go. Even if you're thinking, I don't know if I'd like that. I don't know if that'll be easy to use. Download it. It's free. You're not going to lose anything. Give it a go and I'm sure you will love it. I'm not a massive tech fan, but I do love our app because it really is foolproof. It's so easy to use, really clean, simple. So give it a shot. I think you'll like it.
NEWSWAVE.
To Mia Howlett and Bryna Jordan now, finding out more about a project which is having a positive impact for young people and communities across Cornwall.
NEWSWAVE.
A non-contact boxing and mentoring project, which has been praised for reducing Truro City Centre antisocial behaviour and improving behaviour at secondary schools, has already supported over 60 young people in Cornwall. In Your Corner, which is entering its 4th year, is a collaboration between the Chaos Group, Newquay Boxing Academy, Truro City Council, Young People Cornwall and Get Set Go Sport, and has seen 6 of its young participants also be selected for competitive boxing. Chaos Radio's Bryna Jordan went to their presentation and celebration evening and spoke to John Evers, a trustee at the Duchy Health Charity, Richard Powers from England Boxing, Rivers, a volunteer coach at Newquay Boxing, and Sonia Bradley from the Chaos Group. Sonia, whose role is supported by the Duchy Health Charity, works on the project and provides social prescribing within the pastoral teams of secondary schools. She began by explaining how the project is not only positively impacting the participants, but the wider community.
Newquay Boxing Academy have created such a overarching support for the families that we work with as well, coaching the parents up, getting the young people involved and also giving them qualifications around boxing coaching and often employing them as well. So we've also come to create a Truro partnership from this, which includes the wonderful SALT project, Truro City Council, Young People Cornwall, Cornwall Dance School, Chaos and Newquay Boxing Academy, and we're looking at both boxing and dance as an offer within Truro.
These boxing sessions, they've grown in popularity year on year. What does that response tell you about the needs of young people in the area right now?
There's a real sort of focus on listening to what young people want to get involved in. I think martial arts give all sorts well-being in terms of fitness, mental health, discipline, and also it's the network that those young people get involved in. They're making friendships, the parents are getting involved with coaching qualifications, and it's a whole family. You know, Newquay Boxing Academy has a lot of young people from Truro who now go there regularly, free of charge, and there's also socials involved in that. So there's so much that boxing can bring. We also have female support coaches, so we're quite female heavy, so young women come along and they're not as intimidated as getting involved as they may have been. So yeah, it's a really great thing to get involved in.
Looking ahead, what impact would you like to see this programme have on children's well-being?
I think getting children out of the house, giving children confidence to believe that they can try something different, try some fitness. This is open to all young people, different levels of abilities. A lot of young people I work with might think it's not for them, and when they come along they give it a go. You've got young people there who want to go on and do medical and spa. We have a young female British champion as part of the project, and you've got other young people who want to go along to meet friends and to keep a bit fit and to do a fun activity on an evening. So it's, you know, there's lots of different reasons why young people get involved, but I think they're all really important, and the boxing club is super inclusive, not only for the young people, but we welcome the families on board as well, which is really special. So massive props to Richie and his team of boxing coaches.
I'm Rivers, and I've been boxing since about 2020 with Newquay Boxing Academy. I've just been doing a bit of coaching, helping the kids out and stuff, and getting them doing what I enjoy doing, so yeah.
And when you are coaching, is it nice to see kind of the change in some of the kids? Maybe they come in and they're a bit shy, and kind of seeing them open up, that must feel really, really great as a coach.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, it's great to see. It's great as well, like when you give them something challenging to do, which they obviously think they might not be able to do, but then they do it, and you see that, you know, they're happy that they did it, because it definitely builds confidence. And like you say, you do see people change.
My name is John Evers. I'm a retired physician, and I'm a trustee of the Duchy Health Charity, which has about 15 members of the board. It's hugely encouraging to see the changes that can be generated by something comparatively simple and giving people a purpose, a skill, and some sort of hope. Absolutely.
And how do you hope to see this project evolve?
Well, I gather that there is a hope that a Truro Boxing Club will be set up once a location has been found and the process has gone into. I understand from Richie, who's generating the activity here, that up to 180 members he's hoping will take part. And if that's the case, all power to him.
My name is Richard Powers. I am the club and community manager for England Boxing, a national manager, but also the founder of Newquay Boxing Academy. Boxing brings a multitude of benefits, I believe. We are a combat sport and everyone sees that as what you see on television, but outside and in the boxing club, such as the community, it brings a lot of benefits such as health and well-being, mental health, support, resilience, community cohesion, so much around that, so social inclusion. There's so many projects we do across the board.
Since working with these kids, and some of them you've worked with since the inception of this project, what kind of changes have you seen in them?
The benefits such as fitness, overall fitness, you could see that from there, bringing the discipline and a bit more respect for the young people, respecting their peers, respecting coaches, their parents, more academically achieving in school, concentration in school, mental health, obviously more resilience around that. So much changes in separate individuals. Some will thrive on the sport and fitness side of it, some will thrive just regards to the mental side of it.
Some of the children that have come here have then moved on to Newquay Boxing, and they're going on to potentially sign up to be professional boxing athletes. Like, that must feel really, really good to be you.
It is. There's always a start of a journey for an individual that comes in the gym. Boxing's a lonely sport, it's an individual sport, but once you get through that door, there's a community behind you. These kids have travelled far from Truro to go to Newquay, and you're looking at these kids, obviously, with their journey. Some will show talent, we'll try and enhance them, nurture that talent, and the 6 individuals that you've seen today have got that talent, and we're happy to support them progressing. Some of them will get through the ring, some of them compete, some of them might stay there for a good few years, some might just taper down, but the opportunity's there for them.
And finally, I just just want to know, what do you see for the future of this project? What's next?
To be honest, the future of the project is, if I could change one person's life, it's not about having a national champion. That's a benefit and a bonus in the sense of what we can do. But changing a person's life, just making them a better person, or understanding that there's more to the sport and for the community from that. If we could establish hubs across the Cornwall, boxing clubs more additionally, and there's more outreach programs that we work with, will be ideal. But like I said, we're just happy to help and be part of obviously this wider network and stakeholders that support us.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, we're staying with Bryna Jordan now and talking about international disaster relief charity Shelterbox, who this Lent are asking local people to get involved in their Tent for Lent fundraiser. Every donation supports families across the world who've lost their homes to earthquakes, droughts, tropical storms and conflicts. Bryna caught up with Harpreet Kaur, Shelterbox's community events manager, to find out more.
NEWSWAVE.
Tent for Lent is our annual fundraising event, and we are asking individuals, either on their own or with their church, school or local communities, to give something up for the duration of Lent and get donations for doing it. So, for example, someone could give up their favourite snack and then ask for donations while they are struggling without that snack.
So I absolutely love sweets, for example. So if I'm not eating sweets for the whole of Lent, which I think would actually be quite hard for me, I could then accept donations or do it in aid of Shelterbox, so to say.
Exactly. When I was thinking about this as a challenge, I asked myself the same question: what would I do? And I think all my friends and family know just how much I love tea. And to go for that long a time period without any cups of tea is actually a really big challenge.
Yeah.
So it's a perfect way to kind of get creative and do something highly personal to you, but that would be a really big challenge.
Absolutely, yeah. And working at Shelterbox as well, you see firsthand how much need there is globally and how much need there is for fundraisers like this. What would you say to someone who might feel a bit overwhelmed by the scale of crises and isn't sure that their individual effort can make a difference?
I'd say firstly, I understand. I think it is something that when it's happening overseas, you see and read about it on the news and in newspapers and things like that, social media, and it can be really overwhelming. So firstly, just we understand. But what I would say is that every single pound that is raised through Tent for Lent or is donated to Shelterbox really does help families who need it, who have been affected by disaster or by conflict. So one example is that £15 could fund a solar light for a family, which means that they'll have light at a time when there might not be any electricity. And you can imagine just how symbolic that light could be for people. But actually, from a really practical perspective as well, it means that they can carry on doing stuff once the sun has set. There are really tangible aid items that we provide to families who need them that I would say that is a perfect reason why you should get involved with Shelterbox Works and with Tent for Lent, even if it does feel overwhelming.
Absolutely. I think it can be hard nowadays, especially you look at the news and you see everything that's going on in the world, or a large majority of what's going on in the world, and you can feel sometimes that you're only like a small drop in the ocean. But if it's you plus, I don't know, an organisation that you're with, or plus however ever hundreds of thousands of people that are donating, it does add up, doesn't it? And Shelterbox is currently supporting people displaced by disaster and conflict, including the 117 million people worldwide who have been forced from their homes. Can you share how donations from Tent for Lent directly translate into emergency shelter and essential items?
We have lots of different aid items. They all have different price points. So we can ask someone to give a donation. I said previously the £15 could be like a one-off donation. But if that isn't possible, any donation that you give will all add up. £60 could fund a water filter, which again, water is essential to all life. It sounds really basic, but that is something where you might not be able to have running water. That £60 could be made up of one person person donating that whole thing, or lots of individuals donating smaller amounts of money. At the other end of the scale, £402 could fund enough for a family to have a tent, which if they have lost their home, that then does become their home, which in the grand scheme of cost today, if everyone were donating just £1 or £2 here or there, or fundraising through Tent for Lent by giving up something, that is a really achievable amount to raise, especially because myself and the team are going to be with you every step of the way to help you raise as much money as you can.
We've spoken about potentially what we would do if we were giving up something for Tent for Lent. I'm sweets, you are cups of tea. People can take part in a wide range of weird and wonderful fundraisers. Do you have a favourite one from a previous year?
Yes, I do. We had a wonderful supporter who was in her 70s who gave up her bed and camped in her garden for 40 nights, which I just think is incredible. I really question whether I could do that myself for that amount of time, but for her to do that was amazing. So I always find her story really inspiring and engaging.
It's incredibly inspiring. I think that's kind of one of the obvious ones I would think of as well, is something like giving up necessity, I guess, in everyday life. For someone thinking about taking part for the first time, whether as an individual, with a church, or through their local community, what simple first steps would you recommend to kick off a successful fundraiser?
The first thing that I would do is just spread the word. So I find that fundraising is always more fun when that you have other people doing it with you. You don't have to all do the same challenge for Lent, but it could be something that you do want to do together, and then you can kind of make it a really nice group activity. So just have a think, is this something that you would want to do on your own, or are there other people in your community, in your churches, that you would want to involve? And then just ask them, like, I've heard about Tent for Lent, it's something that I could do. I think one of the best parts of my job is really seeing how creative our wonderful supporters get with what they are actually going to do for Tent for Lent. The sky's the limit. You can choose whatever it is that you want to do. So really just kind of get excited, like what is it that you would want to do, and then let us know by signing up for the event, and we can then just help you. And honestly, it is the best part of my job to kind of speak to people and learn what they are doing.
Finally, before I let you go, can you remind us again, how can people get involved? When does it start? All of those finer details.
You can sign up for Tent for Lent on the Shelterbox website. Just go to shelterbox.org and then you can search Tent for Lent. There's a really, really short sign up form on there. Once you get that, we'll be there with you every step of the way to help you on your Tent for Lent journey. Lent starts on the 18th of February, so you've still got time to sign up. I would just encourage you to get as many people in your community to take part in this event.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NEWSWAVE. A big Chaos Radio thank you to Hannah and Becky Cheetham of Cheethams with Dreams, Mandy Jane at St Mawes Players, Ruth Forrest of HMRC, to John Evers of Duchy Health Charity, Richard Powers at England Boxing, Rivers at Newquay Boxing Academy, and Sonia Bradley of the Chaos Group, as well as to Harpreet Kaur of Shelterbox. And as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And while you're doing it, why not check out our new news service website as well, chaosnews.uk. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, email news@chaos.radio or search Chaos Radio UK across socials. That's it. You're up to date here on Chaos. I'm Tom Howe. Thank you so much for listening. Whatever it is that you're doing in your community this week, be sure to add a little chaos.
NEWSWAVE.
Chaos.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.